Hi, and welcome to Faith in Front. And today we're going to be talking about what I believe is one of the scariest passages of Scripture. And it's found in Matthew 7:21 through 23. So let's dive in. It says, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, 'Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons, and in your name perform many miracles?' Then I will tell them plainly, 'I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers.'" Now that's scary. And the reason why I find that scary is because Jesus is talking to who we would consider church people, people who have the look, but there's something else going on in their heart. It makes me think about the story of Judas. Now, we know Judas was the betrayer, but the only reason we know that he was the betrayer because we know the end of the story, right? But if we were living during that time and we were able to observe Jesus and Judas and the other followers, we wouldn't have been able to pick out Judas. We wouldn't have been able to say, "Oh yeah, he looks crooked." No, he blended in. He's walking with Jesus. He's walking with the other disciples while Jesus is performing miracles. He may have been one of the ones passing out the bread and the fish while Jesus is feeding the multitudes of people. We wouldn't have been able to pick him out. As a matter of fact, Jesus even says in another passage of scripture that one of you is going to betray me. And they were all bewildered, like, who is it? No one was like, "Yeah, I think it's that joker over there." No, they didn't know. So what this says is that Judas even fooled the other disciples. So 2 quick points. Being around other Christian people isn't enough. And you say, why do I say that? Because you would be surprised at the amount of people, when I ask them about their relationship with Christ, one of the first things they'll say is things like, "Oh yeah, my granny took me to church. My father was a pastor." They start mentioning other people. Or they'll mention, "Oh yeah, I grew up in the church," or "I'm Catholic," or whatever denomination. And that wasn't the question. Being around Christian people, that's not enough. I tell my sons, hey, you might be able to have a family pass at Six Flags or Disney, but there's no family pass when it comes to going to heaven. You have to have your own ticket. Okay, you can't piggyback off me. So even though you, which is point number 2, being in a Christian environment isn't enough either. You may have been raised in the church, but here's the thing. There are a lot of famous, outspoken atheists who were raised in the church, had parents who were in the ministry. Their dads were pastors, but they're outspoken atheists. So that kind of debunks this whole thing. Well, you're a Christian because you were raised that way. No, there are a lot of people who were raised in a Christian environment, but they chose something else. Tina Turner was raised in the church, but she's Buddhist. Okay, it's just for one example. When Jesus says, "Do you believe in me?" he's not asking, "Do you believe that I exist?" Because there are a lot of people who believe that Jesus exists. They go, "Oh yeah, he's a historical figure. He walked. He's a very wise man." But that's not it. It's belief in, not belief that. You can believe that Jesus lived, in that he impacted the world. But when Jesus asks you, "Do you believe in me?" When someone wants to know if you believe in them, they're saying, "Do you believe in what I say and what I did? Do you believe in what I did for you?" So it's belief plus acceptance of it. You could have a gift for me and I could look at the gift in your hand and talk about it and describe it and talk about how cute it is, but it's not my gift until I take it from you. And it's the same way with Christ. You can believe about Christ, but have you accepted the gift of salvation? Scripture says that we are saved by grace through faith. It's a gift, not of works. Because some people, I believe, are still trying to earn their way. They're trying to make sure they're doing enough. And that's a slap in the face to the fact that it is grace that we're saved. Grace is undeserved favor. So you can't work your way in. So allow this scripture to do what it's meant to do. And it's meant to get you to examine yourself and say, why am I doing what I'm doing? Have I really accepted Christ for myself? Or have I just been going through the motions because of the appearance that it gives me? Because the last thing you want to hear Jesus say is, depart from me, I never knew you.